What's up, man? It's your boy Eversaw, man, aka Real Coolian, coming straight out of Real Coolville. You know what I mean? Anyways, I want to tell y'all what happened to me last night, man. It was crazy. It was like off the hook. I thought I was dreaming, man, when I woke up. Anyways, man, I'm sitting there watching TV about midnight, man. I'm over here like I couldn't even swallow, man. My mouth was so dry, like my tongue was sticking to the roof of my mouth. I was parched. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I need something icy. I need a slushy. So I'm like, man, I just go to 7-Eleven and get me a slushy. So, you know what I'm saying? I walk out, get in my car, and I'm driving and shit. I turn my music up, man. I'm just. What's up, cuz? You know what I mean? I'm driving. I pull up in the 7-Eleven, man. There's like 15 cars there, man. I'm like, damn, they packed. I didn't see nobody in the store and shit. So I find me a parking spot. Everybody's still in their car, man. Like you're just sitting there. Like it's the new hangout spot. So I'm like, man, whatever. So I get out, start walking up to the door and shit. Right before I get to the door of 7-Eleven, I hear this ba-boom, ba-boom. This car driving by, bumping. It's like ba-boom, ba-boom. And I turn around and look. And dude in that car, you know what I'm saying, he slows down and rolls his window down and was like, I got money in the bank! And I was like, the fuck does that mean? He just drove off, and I'm like, I didn't know what he was talking about, so I just went inside to get my slushy. I was like, whatever. So I go in there and get my slushy. I went straight to it, man. I'm over there mixing it up, whatever, making all the different colors and shit. And these 4 chicks walk in. You know what I mean? They was alright. One of them was bomb, dude. I mean, I probably could have walked up to her and smacked her on her ass, and the bitch would have blew up like bow. And I'm like, okay. So I walk over there, man, and I get ready to pay for my food and shit. I'm telling the dude, I'm like, yeah, let me get 2 of them number 4 scratch off tickets too while you at it. You know what I mean? So I just happen to look over by the door, and there's this dude standing there. He looking at me like this. Like he getting ready to ask me for something. So I'm like, man, I hope he don't ask for no money, man. He better be asking me for directions or some shit. So I get my change or whatever, man, and I grab my stuff and I'm walking out, and this dude, he's like, hey bro, can I get some change? Can I get some money, man? I'm like, yeah, you can get some money. I'll give you some change. So I reach in my pocket. I pulled a couple quarters out and a nickel. I just threw that shit on the floor, right? So he bends down to pick that shit up, and I just grabbed my slushy and I was like, I just dumped it all over the back of his neck and shit, right? And he was like, hey, I'm like, yeah, change that. And then I pushed him on the ground, and I grabbed the tennis ball off his walker. You know what I mean? I just, give me that shit. So then I just walked out the store, right? Now when I walked out, all the dudes was standing outside their cars like they was hounding these chicks inside, like they was waiting for them to get out, right? But the crazy part about it is, like, one of them had a pit bull with him and shit. He's standing there like this. He like, and I'm just looking at him like, I walk right past him and I go over towards my car and check this out. The nigga next to me had a minivan. This guy at midnight, he's standing outside his car holding a baby in a cell phone, right? And he holding the baby like this, and he got a cell phone. He talking on the cell phone, but he got this look on his face like Zoolander and shit, man. He all like, he like trying to look real cute, right? He holding his baby, he like this. And I'm like, he looking like he about to blow me a kiss and shit. So I walk up to him and I'm like, bitch, what you looking for? A babysitter this late, man? I was like, that ain't no game. You ain't got no game. That shit's lame, man. That shit's old. So I was like, hey, anyway, what's your baby name, man? And he was like, her name. And I'm like, bow! I just smacked the baby out of his hand and kick it underneath the car so it won't get hurt. And I snatched his cell phone out of his hand, and I'm like, I didn't even care who he was talking to. I'm like, I got money in the bank! I just heard that dude earlier, so I just said, fuck it. And I threw the cell phone on the ground. And I punched him like this with my knuckles sticking out, man, and he flew over the hood of his car. I heard him slide down the car like, he like, boom, he hit the ground. And as soon as he hit the ground, the dude from 7-Eleven, the owner, he come running out. He like, you get in here and clean this mess up now. You clean it now. I'm like, I'm like, bitch, I ain't cleaning up nothing. So I reached in my pocket, right? Grabbed out my harmonica, man. I was like, look at this shit, man. I held that motherfucker like this. And I'm like, bitch, I ain't cleaning up nothing. I like, matter of fact, I was like, you gonna give me everything out that register. I was like, so turn your ass around. I was like this, I was like, turn your ass around. He was like, don't shoot, don't shoot. I was like, turn your ass around. So he turns around, he got his back to me like this, and he walking to the front of the door. I'm over here poking him in the back of the head with this shit. I'm like, bitch. I'm like, get your ass in, get your brown ass in there. Get your brown ass in there. So we go up by the register, and I'm like, give me all the money in the register. And give me some scratch-off tickets. And give me a pack of them playing cards. Not the pinochle either. So he loads up this bag and shit. I'm like, hurry that shit up. So he puts all the money in there. So I got the sack of shit. And I got my, this motherfucker was looking like a Clint Eastwood gun and shit, right? It was like, chrome and shit. So I'm holding this shit like this. And I come walking out the store. And by the time I walk out, all the dudes had gathered around like they was gonna do something, right? So I walked out and I'm like, I pointed my shit and I'm like, get off my lawn. Man, as soon as I said that shit, everybody just scattered like water bugs, man. They were like, everybody hopped in their cars and like, pew, pew, pew. It was gone, man. Except for this white dude, right? This white dude standing there. He just standing there wearing soccer shorts and flip-flops. And he's like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere, bro. You're not my boss. And I'm like, I didn't say I was your boss. Get your ass out of here. Get your little narrow ass out of here. And he was like, dude, you don't own me. So I'm like, alright, man. I walk up to him and I'm like, well, hey, man, you know where I can get some weed? I don't even smoke, but I was just trying to change the subject, man, because I thought he was going to ask me for half my shit that I had just robbed him for, man. So he was like, no, I don't do no weed. He was like, but I got some cocaine. You want to do some cocaine? And I'm looking at him. I'm like, nigga, ain't you seen my last video? He was like, I don't know about no video, but I got some cocaine. He was like, do you want to just do some cocaine? So I'm like, yeah, I'll do some cocaine. Let me see that shit. So he pulls that shit out. I'm like, pow! I'm like, pow! Wow! I'm like, bing, ping, pow! All up in his shit, right? I blasted him, and he just fell out. Like Tony Montana, man. He just fell out, right? So I'm like, so I get ready to go over to my boy's house, man. That shit was crazy. So I went over to my friend's house, man, Morgan, man. And I walk in, he's like, man, what you got that eye patch on your eye for, man? I'm like, damn, man. I got a bug in my eye, man, when I was running in my car, because I was running so fast, because I had just got doing some crazy shit, right? He was like, damn, that shit crazy, man. All of a sudden, his phone rang. This guy get on the phone, he's like, hello? What you say? Bitch, I told you I got money in the bank. Swear to God. Right then, I suffered my first case of deja vu, dog. Man, that shit was crazy, man. Man. That shit was fucked up, but y'all ever had deja vu before? Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. But, that's what happened to me last night, man, so I'll holler at you again next time something happens. Real coolin', baby.